back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Austin Missy with Banger Stories, and today I'm looking fly. Anyway, if you've never been here before, it's your first time, kindly subscribe. Let's create this big community, this big beautiful community that we're trying to create here. Anyway, this is the second episode that is dropping, and as per the title, it's the Kurukwa Kipetero edition. Anyway, last episode I told you about how I'm gonna tell you of the first people that I broke the news to. Anyway, there were two people, of course. The person responsible, let's call this person Mr. Nobody. Okay, to meet to Mr. Nobody, don't want to mention names, and also because he is just relevant for this segment. Okay, so Mr. Nobody was the first person I told. And also the second person that I told was my best friend, who we're going to have at Akuja episode 3. Like at Akuja episode 3, and she has actually the biggest part of this story because she's someone that I actually shared everything with up to date. That's like 4 years of friendship. It's been real. So without further ado, nitapewa copyright juu ya hiyo. Bila waste time, tuingie kwenye story. Anyway, so after the big news, the big reveals, due to Itenini, the big bomb dropping, I told Mr. Nobody. Let's call this person the suspect in this story, Mr. Nobody. So after telling Mr. Nobody, my people, oh my God, it's going to be crazy. So how did I come to tell Mr. Nobody? Of course, tulikuwa tunashuku nile hatutaki kuamini, you're still in denial. So the events leading up to me going to the hospital, actually I was encouraged by the friend to Mr. Nobody because me, I was scared. Like I was doing the home test, the sugar test, the salt test. Oh my God, it was crazy. So I was doing all those tests, but I was actually avoiding the truth. I didn't want the truth. There's one thing about shukuing, and there's another thing about actually confirming. So I didn't want to confirm. So this Mr. Nobody's friend encouraged me to go to the hospital, and I did. Going, sasa simbo hizo news nimepatiwa. Mimi nimeenda kwa nyumba wiki moja, sijatoka, siongeleshi mtu. And now, of course, I have to tell Mr. Nobody so that we know what you're going to do. My guys, little did I know I was dating a jumper. So, how did I come to tell him? I called him, I think it's been long. I called him, yeah, I actually called him and I told him the news. So he was like, chill kiasi, I'll call you later. Later ni jioni badai, he's calling me. That time I think he was staying in school. So like nasikia neza, unajua there's a way you can know uko loudspeaker. So we call loudspeaker, and in the background I can hear like a multitude of guys, like men, or rather his friends, his male friends, talking. It's like he was telling this issue. We were discussing this issue actually with a crowd present. I didn't know then, but later on, gay shock here. I recall that. So this guy is telling me how I should go to his school and go for money to do the worst. And me and my pride, we didn't go. Me and my pride, we just cut tulilenga simu, like we cut the kizungu bana ni ngumu. We hung up the conversation midway because it was too terrifying to fathom the thought of actually, doing the unthinkable. So after hanging up, of course, it's not like I didn't care at all. It's just that I could not entertain that thought. Literally, I just couldn't entertain that thought. After hanging up, of course, I broke down. Like, who does that? I mean, in your mind, you did not expect such a thing. In your mind, you knew you had actually someone with brains, someone with a future, someone with integrity. Okay, so this bombshell of you being and then another bombshell of this person jumping. He like, I learned that day he was a pro jumper. So I will be lying if I say that after that call I did not get into depression. It sank deeply, it really sank, because now it's like nimerudi square zero. Like I was here and then now I'm here, negative, like nimerudi square zero. So in my mind I was trying to strategize what I'm going to do next, how I'm going to cope with this situation, how I'm going to break the news to the people at home. And trust me, that was a death sentence. Like that day, they signed my death sentence in my mind at that time. So now it's a time where I have to rethink of what I'm going to do, because now I've learned that this journey that I've actually started, I'm going to do it alone. And me being me, I don't bow down to shit. Like I cannot give people discounts on account of trying to overcompensate in something that's not actually valuable at all. So Mimi, from that day onwards, I decided it's me and me alone. So I decided like staying in the house was becoming a bit dangerous to my mind. So I decided to actually go visit my friend at her school and try and, break the news to her in a way where her mind will not melt, because there is no way in this world that she would have imagined something like that, happening to me being the reserved person that I am. So mimi nikafunga safari nikaelekea. So in the process of me planning to go to her school, Mr. Nobody called told me that we should meet up over coffee and discuss this. That is now the next day. Yeah, that's like we had the call Jana where I hung up, and then now the next day where we're supposed to be meeting. So Nico, like, of course I agreed, because who doesn't want to resolve this issue? It was like a mountain of an issue to me. So I agreed to meet up. We were to meet up at around, was it 2, if I can remember correctly? So me, I actually went early, I'm punctual, I'm very punctual. When I'm doing my things, I'm actually punctual. So nikienda nayo time, I don't know Tao very well. I've just, nimetoka ushago, nimeenda Nairobi bana, mi sijui Tao. So nimeenda Tao, nikapotea kwa stage and stuff, but finally nilifika. So the meeting was actually supposed to take place at 2 p.m. And me being me, I'm a very punctual person, for those people who know me. So nilifika 1 to avoid being late. So nikafika 1, but then I had to find something to do before your trifike. So I called up his friend. Fortunately, he was in Tao repairing his phone. Coincidence? Well, I don't know. So calling him, akasema, okay, I'm in Tao, you can come. He came for me penye nilikuwa, nikaenda come tukatengenezesha phone, and we're talking 1, 2, 3 things as we're waiting for Mr. Nobody to arrive, His Majesty to arrive. So we waited. 2 ikafika, 3 ikafika, 4 bado mtu anakuja, 5, oh my god, I'm hungry, kuna jua, everyone is shoving you left, right and center. It's Tao. Like 5:30 bado, 6 bado, 6:30 is when Mr. Nobody anafika, and the excuse is siwezi kimbisha jam juu yako. Like what the hell? Like what the hell? What the audacity of this guy? All that time to make chill, he was like, man, Nancy, go home. This person is wasting you, literally. These are his words, This person is wasting you. Actually, as a matter of fact, and I quote, he's the one supposed to come to you, not you come to him in your situation. And Makiu, jua ilikuwa imewaka. As always in Nairobi, people are shoving you left, right, and center. It was horror. On that part, I could agree with him, because at this I had given up, because I mean, you know, the signals are in the air. This person is not showing up. So 6, I decided to actually go to where my friend was that time. She was at UN Chiramo campus, if I can remember that time. So nilikuwa nitoke penye niko uko archives nifike hadi Chiromo. My dear, at that time, as I said, sijui tao. So I actually went, I maneuvered my way, nikafika. But before going to Chiromo, I actually went to main campus, Kanisa main campus, the chapel there. I can't remember the name of that Catholic church, the Catholic chapel. So nikenda nikaka. I mean, I was frustrated, guys. I was so frustrated. And then a new number calls me, and I'm hesitant to pick because I don't know why this person is calling me. So but I just picked it up. Picking it up, it's Mr. Nobody, and he's asking, but uko tao, you know, the arrogance in his voice. You could hear the arrogance in his voice. But uko tao, like, no, nimetoka. Like, okay, bye. Like, no apologies for being late. No apologies for, actually, the excuse he gave me was, nilikuwa niharakishe jam juu yako. You get? I mean, the arrogance in this person's voice. At that time, like, you know, I had to let it sink in my head that you're on this alone. Uko hapa peke yako, you carry on, and it's just you and you. Wengine wakikuja ni sawa, lakini at the moment it's you and you. I'm now making this matter look very light, but at that time it was the heaviest. Like, my heart was broken into 100 billion trillion pieces that I could not piece together. And can you imagine, it's a 19-year-old. I mean, you'd never imagined yourself you could be a single mother. Now here's the reality knocking, and someone has jumped, someone has walked, you know. What am I going to do now? Was the questions that were running through my mind. How am I going to cope? How am I going to go on with school? I've just started campus. I had big dreams, and now this. After I hung up, I nikatoka chapel and I went to now where my friend was. I was very heartbroken, of course, and I was very distressed. I was tired, I was hungry, I hadn't eaten anything the whole day. My hormones were crazy. I was so nauseous. It was just a horrible ordeal. So when I went there, she comforted me. Tukaenda tukakula klabu, watu wa UN mnajua klabu penye iko, tukaenda tukakula klabu, and then they took me out for ice cream. At that time Kurukwa bado ilikuwa, so they took me out for ice cream and cotton candies, and I felt good. And then we spent the whole night talking. Yeah, and that's why she's a very important person in this episode, in this series that you're going to shoot. I'm gonna bring her on the show, the Wonder Woman in my life. Big up. I won't say her name, atakuja jiseme, but wherever you are, just know that that was a golden thing that you did for me that day, because I was nearly, I don't know, I was nearing a mental breakdown at that moment. So the things that you did, taking me to Klabu, taking me to Uhuru Park, just trying to take my mind off things, was it was very instrumental to actually me having peace of mind that day. It was the start of my healing journey. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring her on the show. She's gonna be on episode 3, so stay tuned, guys, and you know, show us love, show us support. And for other people out there who maybe are in the same situation as me right now, trust me, it gets better. It always gets better. It never gets easier, but you get stronger. As you progress in life, things get harder, but you actually grow more muscle to actually be able to curb whatever is thrown at you. So here today, 4 years later, 4.5 years later, I've grown muscle, and if something like that, okay, something like that wouldn't repeat itself, because now I know better. I know better. Yes, baby. So guys, stay tuned for my next episode, episode 3, and try and bear with me. For me, shooting is always a struggle. It's always difficult because of I can't control. I can't keep my child at bay. She has to pop in and out, and of course, as you can see my background, I'm shooting from my home, from my maternal home. Yeah. So subscribe. Let's make this family big, and yeah, let's help each other out. Tell a friend, and I'll see you on my next episode. Ciao.
Subscribe.
And
Like.
again.
Subscribe. Like.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.